Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video here on Marvel Strike Force on Monday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. There is lots to talk about today, like the event updates for today. The orb fragments for campaigns are actually, in fact, 3-1 and not 4-1. So you can see here that for spending 30 energy, you get 90 orb fragments. So I did my math originally at 4-1, not 3-1, and so it looks like it's actually worse than good thing I went conservative, because it actually is in fact a little bit less. I will be posting those charts up on my Discord server though. There's a lot of things to cover here in today's video. Also, I just wanted to double check the orb that's going to be live related to that. So basically what that means is that if you want to push for this leaderboard, it actually makes more sense to even do the 100 cores on, so you would do your 50 cores on your showcase, 50 cores on probably the orb fragment still, despite that, and then hundreds on your, you could even do the hundreds on the showcase. But I want to take a look at the red gear orb. Where the hell is this new orb for this event? Twilight orb? That's it, right? Contains crimson gear. So I just wanted to take a look. Is it worth spending your cores to get this over showcase energy? And there's a 60%. That's actually a lot. So 45. Now, I don't like that it's a 60% chance to get red gear, but 45 is actually a lot. As far as how much gold that is, it would be 45 times 20,000. So you're getting about 900,000 gold. So you're getting a little bit less milestone points by doing the cores on the campaign energy, even in the 50s versus the 100s on the showcase. But this orb might be pretty good. Let's take a look at the right. I don't know how much that is, because it doesn't quite say that. And 10 minis. That's actually 60. I don't like this 60-40, but 60% chance to get 10 minis. This would be worth 4 million gold. So 4 million gold plus 900,000. I mean, you're not always going to get the 60% drops, but that's actually pretty good. And if you still need red gear, I would probably do the 50 cores in the showcase energy, and I would probably do the 50 cores into the campaign energy. Now, if you care only about the leaderboard, then you're probably going to want to primarily put your cores into the showcase energy. So keep that in mind. But that's actually not too bad of an orb, especially on top of the current candy stuff. Now, the one thing I did want to point out is that the Sugar Rush Web milestone is a 6-day milestone, not 7 days like they said in the blog. So that's a little bit different as well. That's a little bit unfortunate that they, unless they update it later because of complaints, but they did say it was 7 days and it's not. So those are just some updates right there. It does lower the total amount of milestone points a little bit, as far as like if you have everything, and I did a little bit of my rating before I started this video up. But if you have everything, basically, I'm going to bring this up really quick, which is my chart. So we're just going to skip to the bottom. Total reasonable points if you have no gear on any of the raid characters. Milestone 108,000, which would be over milestone 14 still. 158,000 for if you have G19, Spider Society, and X-Men, which is going to be around milestone 16. That's still fine. And 208,000 if you have all of the gear, still milestone 17. So not quite on milestone 18 anymore. So it looks like it's actually still the same, because I didn't edit this. So it looks like the milestone totals will still be the same. We probably won't be getting to milestone 18 free to play though, but at least you will get that 10 million gold if you have literally everything and you do 400 cores daily. So that's good to know there. But I just wanted to do that quick update there, because there's a lot to talk about. If you go to the MarvelStrikeForce.com website, there is a splash screen for BattleWorld now. I am not going to be covering the blog post, because the blog post basically covers everything that I've already said in my other videos, which is how BattleWorld is going to work, right? It's going to have the missions. You're going to have the combat missions. You're going to have the spec op missions where you send part of your roster away in like an idle fashion. And then there's going to be the final boss battle of none other than Null. So I'm not going to cover the blog again. You know, go watch Mobile Gamers like 9-minute video on that. It's stuff I've already regurgitated, but I'm very interested of the splash screen stuff. So how do you get here, by the way, in case you wanted to know? You go onto where your roster, like the top right corner, and right under featured, there's a Battle World tab now. So if you go and click on that, you'll get this screen, which brings up a whole lot of clickies. You can click on, we'll click on this eventually. Siege on Battle World, defeat Null, God of the Abyss, and earn purple ISO. But I just want to kind of scroll through this. So you get some screenshots, some rotating screenshots, and I do have them pulled up in full screen mode. A Siege on Battle World take on, honestly, I think this is just taken from the blog. But I do have a variety of screenshots. That's that. I just want to zoom in. So this is what the user interface is going to look like. You can see in the top right corner, those are BattleWorld currency, by the way. That was the icon that's for that. There looks to be like a difficulty button where you can change your difficulty. And from what we knew from the data mines, there is going to be 3 difficulties. Now, there is going to be another update, or not update, a maintenance tomorrow morning. And we might get some pretty juicy data mines out of that as well. Some updated, maybe more confirmation on some of this stuff. There's a looks like there's a leaderboard for seasons. You can see it right here. It's going to be 2 weeks. One thing that the blog did mention that I think is really, really important is that basically this is going to be a weekly event. You're going to be running Battle World every single week. We didn't have confirmation on whether or not it was weekly or every 2 weeks, but now we do have confirmation every single week. And this actually seems to suggest that there's more than the 3 difficulties that I saw in the data mine, because this is difficulty 5, and I only have seen 3. So maybe that was the part that was subject to change. The zone parts, however, are still the same. So there's going to be zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then zone 6 is going to be the boss battle with Null. You can also see the victory points earned. I imagine this is, I don't know if this is individual VPs or alliance VPs total, but you do need to basically clear this in order to get to the next day or next zone. So you're going to need a set amount of total victory points in order to get from zone 1 to zone 2, etc., etc. And I think that this is probably like 20,000 BPs total to get to zone 2, because they're currently on zone 1 here. Some of the other screenshots from this as well. The Abyss zone 1, waves cleared, 0 out of 30. Now, I think this is individual because I believe there are 5 missions, which sounds like there's going to be 6 waves per node that you're going to have to clear. They had talked about that basically there are going to be waves on these battle missions, and for each wave cleared, you're going to get a set amount of victory points for that. And then you can kind of see the missions here. These are the battle missions. So you can see that there's 5, and they've actually just spoiled the Shadow King team tag right here. Now, I made mention of this in the Shadow King video, but the team trait Astral, you could tell that that's going to be the upcoming Shadow King team. So that's exciting, I guess. It's official confirmation, at least on my end, because I know that the Shadow King is coming. Even though they didn't confirm it publicly, I know that's what's happening. And so now we have the official team tag, Astral. So that's good to know. And you can see the various team tags required for Zone 1. City, Cosmic, Spider-Verse, Cosmic, and then Astral or Pegasus. Now, I do want to actually just compare it to what I had on my slide, just to see whether or not that's the same. What do we have here? Oh, City, Cosmic, Spider-Verse. Oh, wait, City, Cosmic. Do I have Cosmic twice? Maybe that's not the same. Oh, no, it is the same. City, Cosmic, Spider-Verse, Cosmic, Astral, or Pegasus. I did have the right teams. Okay, cool. That's good to know. And there's going to be bonus teams that you're going to want to use for each of these as well. So looks like the data mines were largely correct in terms of the traits that you're going to be needing for this. What you're not seeing right here on the front is that you will be getting, as far as I'm aware, you're going to be getting bonus points for using those teams, those specific teams. Like I said, so for this one, it would be Bifrost, right? You're going to get bonus points for using Bifrost on this particular stage. So keep that one in mind as well. And then here's an expansion of the Spec Ops, which is essentially just like an idle thing where you're gonna click on these buttons. It's gonna show you characters that you can send, and then you can send up to 10 characters, I believe, per day for Spec Op points. And that's essentially what this is gonna be. It's gonna be a sliding scale, right? And before we jump onto any of the other screenshots, I just want to see. No, okay, I just wanted to see if they had some of the. I think I brought up some of those photos. Let's keep going. There's this one here. So Null's Throne zone preview, and I think this is just the last zone, right? This is going to be your zone 6, where you got to the end. Now, one thing that I do want to let people know of, that the only people who are going to be getting to zone 6, aka to fight Null, is people who cleared the zones every single day. So some people might be asking, what happens if you don't clear a zone? Let's say you don't get the points, right, to get to the next zone. You run that same zone again the next day, which will still allow you to get to some of the further zones, but you won't get to Null unless you clear it every single day, because there is no extra days. There's no 7th day. It's just 6 days. So the only people getting to this final one is if you cleared it every single day. Just in case people were asking about that. There you go. 60,000 points possible reward, 60,000 victory points if you beat Null. And you can see that apparently he's got 538 million hit points at whatever difficulty this is at currently. So interesting stuff here anyways. And next photo is a graphic of fighting Null. You can see that he's got a kit there too. You know, basic, special, ultimate, and passive. You can see that his ultimate, I guess he doesn't spawn with it on on spawn. You know, there's a few turns that needs to be taken. Take this team with a grain of salt. Nobody is going to be using this combination of characters in any fashion. This is not a good team, so don't do that. They're just probably showcasing it. And then you can see that in this, whatever difficulty this is a Null at G19, 15 million power, right? Because it's like a super boss mode version, probably because his hit points is at 538 million. So do keep that in mind. I do want to see what it says here, though, on this. Battleworld has been, you know, honestly, I think this is actually just taken straight from the blog. However, your first stop is the Abyss, where you'll challenge a sinister and superpowered version of the King in Black Null. While in their territory, bosses gain additional bonuses and immunities that you and your allies will need to strategize around. You can also expect an army of symbiotes to come to Null's aid, making for one of the toughest fights Strike has seen to date. It'll take your entire alliance to take down Null, but doing so will eventually allow you to recruit him to your cause and strengthen your roster with Darkness. And we know this because I made a video. Such a cool photo, by the way. We already talked about this when I told you that Null was going to be made available through character shards from this last level. Probably some sort of weekly payout, but most likely you're going to have to do battle with Null in order to get his shards. I would be surprised if they allow you to get shards without actually doing the stage 6. So that's something there as well. Let's go through some of the photos. Where are we at? We did that one. We did that one. There's this one here. Battle World difficulty selector. So it does appear that there is going to be 5 difficulties. Now, whether or not you can start at 5, I don't know. Maybe every week you kind of have to like work your way up, kind of like raids. That could be something that are there. And you can kind of see what the rewards are more generally. There are first-time rewards, including Battle World currency, purple ISO, ions, orbs, and then T4s. And you can see the enemy stat changes in here as well. It's pretty interesting. Up to 5 difficulties, so that's a lot better than 3, though. So the challenge might be there for the people who were complaining in the playtest about the challenge not being there. So I'm very interested to see how this comes out. This is a little bit different, or a little bit better, I guess, than what I originally saw and anticipated and what I heard from the envoys. Cool ass photo of Null in his chair, which we already saw on the cover. There's another, that's the top, I guess, of the splash screen there. And then some backgrounds of Null. Let's go back to the splash page. Earn piles of ISO 8 resources each day in elite missions. So, I don't know where that photo is, but I just wanted to kind of highlight that part over here. So it is these elite missions where you're using specific teams only in order to get your purple ISO. And they've denoted it here. And it's really important to note because this is the way that they're going to lock new teams basically behind the purple ISO missions, or purple ISO behind the new teams, you know, whatever. So that you're going to have to use this. In this case, Astral or Pegasus. I think this is really important. And then in other zones, it's going to be different teams, right? Night Stalkers, probably Orcus, things like that. The more recent teams are going to be more required to use in these various zones. And actually, I think it's on Zone 5. There's actually one with Asgard 101, which kind of tells us that I think a level cap is on the way. And there was a bonus points for using Odin. So keep that one in mind as well. Improve your chances of bringing home rewards by utilizing teams who specialize in Battle World, aka the Astral team, is coming next month. Okay, so I think it's really funny that they let the hat out of the bag here, even though cat out of the bag, even though they haven't actually announced or explained that. There's just boom, there's a trade called Astral. What the hell is that, right? It's the Shadow King's team. Higher difficulties will always reward larger quantities and higher tiers of ISO 8. So, you know, I don't know how much that's going to be. It didn't actually say, but that's where you're going to get it, right? So always be on the lookout for new territories, bosses, and of course, new rewards to grow your roster. So I definitely encourage you to check this out. I think this just, yeah, it scrolls down. Okay, that's fine. But opening up these various different screenshots, it was really cool. I think there's a lot to glean out of it. I always use that word in the wrong context. I shouldn't have used that word. Anyways, you know, with the data mines, with my, you know, let's just do a recap really quick here, by the way. So this was my slides, right? If you saw it in my other videos, Zone 1, Zone 2, Mercenary. Now, this could be subject to change because we've only seen Zone 1 officially, but I just wanted to do a quick recap because it very well could be the same. Mercenaries, Global Villain, Bio or Asgard, Mutant, Pegasus or Orcus. This part, the Mission 5 part, could be subject to change because this would be your elite missions for Purple ISO. Keep in mind the things in brackets. those are your bonus missions where you're going to have bonus points for using those teams. And Undying, right? Zombie Scarlet Witch is coming. Zone 3, Bio or Mystic or Skill, Global or Epic or Legendary, Global Hero or Controller, Spider-Verse, and then again, this one's probably subject to change here. Zone 4, X-Men or Alpha Flight. Remember the blog stated that you should be building up your Extreme X-Men, your Alpha Flight, your Hive Mind, and your Spider Society because there are bonuses in the variety of zones for this. You can see X-Men, Extreme X-Men, Mutant Hero or Brawler, this stuff, and then again, Mission 5 is probably a placeholder. Zone 5, City or Support, Hive Mind as the bonus team, right? There you go. Hero Global or Hero Cosmic, Villain Tech, Hero Mystic, in brackets, Night Stalkers, bonus for Night Stalkers, and then this Mission 5 could be subject to change as well. And then Mission 6, level 101, Asgard with bonus points for Odin. So there you go. That is some Battle World stuff. This is pretty interesting. It looks like it's probably, we had the data mines of it basically being within the last, that there is data mines for the offers, which means it suggests it's probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's there you go. It literally just popped up as I was getting ready to close down this video. So there you go. Battle World is coming, and then if I were to click, it's probably just going to bring me to the splash screen that we just took a look at. So there you go. That's the blog actually. But either way, we've already talked about it, and that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. It is exciting that we're finally going to have something else to do. But of course, right, we need to kind of see things as they come out and see how good is it going to be fun, right? And that's what I need to know. Is it going to change things based on how things have been going in the game? We'll have to find out. That's it for now, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.